Well, it's Budget 2016, and in the studio with me today I have Dennis George, the General Secretary of the Federation of Unions of South Africa, FEDUSA. Dennis, if you were the Finance Minister today, what's the first thing you would announce as you stood up to that podium?
Look, I think first you want to do is an analysis of the context of the budget that you want to present. To say that what is the global situation looking like now, and then after that you want to most probably focus on what is the progress that we have made, because you know the budget is a snapshot, not only just of one day, but it's the progress that you make over a number of years.
But the global situation is dire, and it's been going on and on since 2008 with no end in sight.
Yes, no, but I think what the Minister of Finance wants to do is he wants to focus on the things where government has control over, because otherwise you're talking to the wind. And what is the concrete steps that you as the government want to take to address the challenges that you face, and how you can work together with organized labor and with business to give momentum, you know, to the process of the budget and how the budget could be used, because, you know, we know already from our side that from a monetary policy side, it's going to be a tough time for us. And we know it is difficult to make tough decisions in tough times.
But what this boils down to, of course, is, and there's always been the complaint from Labour, that every time austerity comes in, the austerity and the belt tightening applies to the lower paid rather than the wealthier. And this has always been an argument. Do you think that that still holds?
Yeah, look, I think what government is going to do is most probably going to increase taxes, you know, at the high rates where people are taxed. But the problem with that is the amount of people that is in those brackets are not so a lot, you know. So the pain that will be dished out today will most probably going to be dished out in a way where we can see what protection we can give to the poor. And you must also remember that from people receiving income from government, we have about 13 million people that receive grants, and that amounts to about 154 billion rand for the year, through the child grants, through the old age grants and disability grants. So it's important that we take care of the poor, but at the same time you want to plant the proper seeds so that you can get, when the economy picks up, that we are ready to grow the economy inclusively, and that is something that's very critical.
If you have to, I believe that there has been a rumor that there will be, for example, the usual sin taxes on smokers and drinkers, which one normally expects, but that doesn't bring in that much. But there's also rumored to be a sugar tax. Would you approve of that? I mean, it's also in soft drinks and that sort of thing as well, with diabetes being a major problem here.
Look, the consequences of the health, and you know, government is busy talking to us about the situation of funding the national health insurance.
Yes.
And I think it would be the same as alcohol and smoking is being classified as a sin tax. The carbohydrate, you know, taxes, because carbohydrate is not good for you, and we know from the studies of Professor Tim Noakes, where he was talking about a low carb,
fairly controversial,
high fat diets, you know, so because all of us have to curb, you know, because it gives us the strokes, it gives us heart problems, it gives us all problems, that for us to be a more healthy nation.
Well, I also believe, I've heard that last year, if you recall, I think it was Minister Nene actually said that they would cut the contribution, worker contribution to UIF because of the huge surplus in the UIF fund. Do you think that will come about, or
Look,
is there some better way of dealing with it?
We will have a discussion with the Minister on his budget proposals and what he's introduced on Friday at NEDLAC. But what happened last year was the UIF is a fund that is a tripartite structure. You have the government sits there, labor sits there, and businesses there. Even though government sits there, it does not contribute nothing. You see, it's more like an administrator. And then we're sitting with labor contributes and the employers contribute. Now the purpose for this fund is to provide for people an income when the economy goes into a depression or recession and people lose their jobs. And therefore that insurance must provide for them. So what you must do is you must increase the benefits for the people that have contributed, not to go and give tax holidays for purpose of trying to stimulate the economy, because those are the insurance policies that the people took out.
So that's it. Is to look after, as best you can, those who need it most, is what
Yes.
you're really saying if you sum up your view to the budget.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think, government must also learn to do things in a holistic manner. When you want to look at social security protection, currently we have a system, but the system have a lot of gaps. And that's the reason why people are so angry. The people going on protest action, because, the social wage is being eroded. And the fact is this: when people can't find employment, what do they do? Where do they turn to? And people must live, and I think government has a responsibility to look after people that is not in the economy at the moment.
Well, let's hope that you look a bit happier about things at the end of the budget day.
Thank you
Thank you very
much.
much, Dennis.
Thank you.